Hello. Now you're live.
Okay, now we're live. Sound is good. Do you hear me? I don't care if you hear Andrea. The important thing is you hear me. Okay, good morning. Unholy Toledo is here. Chris Gallo is here. DK Lush is here. Jay Stubbs is here. Star Dog, Leonard Donaldson. Unholy All right, we're ready to go as we're just moving on, okay? All right, a lot of stuff to talk about. Sound is good. Okay. And number one, of course, the home run hitting contest was just enormous last night. Wouldn't it have been great if Mancini won it? I think that would have been great. But Garrett Cole even said something that we are very unbelievably thrilled to be witnessing. Shohei Ohtani could have the most power of any player on the field at the All-Star game. He could have the most speed. Now that, I don't know, but that's what Garrett Cole says, and the most velocity. So here's one player with the most power, the most speed, the most velocity on the field. According to Garrett Cole, he inspires a whole generation, a whole new generation of baseball players being inspired by Shohei Ohtani. So even though he didn't have the greatest, good morning, Jay Stubbs. All right, even though he didn't have the greatest experience yesterday at the Home Run Derby, and Pete Alonso was tremendous. Pete Alonso actually calls himself the greatest power hitter in Major League Baseball today, and he may be a Home Run Derby monster. He just, he hit home runs in his six last swings to end this thing. Nobody has ever had more than 73 home runs in an evening. So, look, the Mets really have something to cheer for, right?
He wasn't even tired.
And he was ready to go. But the Mets have something to cheer for. They have another thing to cheer for. Rehabbing Mets starter Carlos Carrasco is going to throw an inning for the Coney Island, Yankees? Is that what it is? No. For Coney Island on Thursday. Manager Rojas says it's possible that Carrasco is brought back short of being fully stretched out to help the Mets' depleted rotation. So while other players are being carefully brought back, the Mets, let's just bring them back anyway, right? We'll bring them back. Let's go, Mets. Bring him back. Let him develop himself. Not someone that you want to bet in his first time out. So Alonso joins Jonas Cespedes, remember him? And Ken Griffey Jr., the only players to win back-to-back home run derbies, as Shohei had 15 home runs that went over 475 feet, by far the most in a single round of any derby StatCast since the tracking started a couple of years ago. And then he'll be on the mound for the American League in the All-Star game. The last player to get a base hit in an All-Star game he pitched was Charles Nagy. Remember him? The Cleveland pitcher back in 1992. He had an eighth-inning single off of Doug Jones. And the last player with even a plate appearance in the All-Star game he pitched was Roy Halladay. When was Roy Halladay? Is when Halladay struck out Tim Lincecum. Well, it was Halladay. He was struck out by Tim Lincecum. So there you go. So the home run hitting contest, good morning to Taco, was a major event last night. Does anybody look forward to the slam dunk contest in basketball like we used to? We used to really love the slam dunk contest, right? Anybody looking at the slam dunk contest with more interest than they ever did? That's what we're doing with baseball, more interest. Now it's about getting the sport itself with more interest than we've ever had. And with the great players that we have, the great young players that we have, it should be a piece of cake to get interested in Major League Baseball this year, next year, and the year after. All they got to do is come up with the right rules. No more 7-inning doubleheaders. How many people are against the 7-inning doubleheaders? I certainly am not a fan of the 7-inning doubleheaders. Max Scherzer will start in the All-Star game. It'll be his fourth All-Star game pitching start, tied for fourth most with Jim Palmer and Randy Johnson. Robin Roberts, Lefty Gomez, and Don Drysdale each had 5 starts in the All-Star game to lead the way. Good morning to Zelmo. Morning, Zelmo. How you doing there, kid? Great to see the chat room. I was afraid the chat room would start to fizzle out, but it really hasn't. All right? All right, Jay Stubbs is not hearing anything. So refresh. Fresh.
I don't know if you're typing in that. Let me type it in there. I'll help you.
Yeah, tell Jay, tell him to, I get no help.
I'm on the way.
You're on the way.
Help is on
There you go. Refresh, Jay. Whoever I got a keyboard here that's silver, and the letters on the keyboard are silver. Who was the freaking idiot? It wasn't Daniel Ferrara, I know that, who invented a keyboard that's silver with the letters carved in also silver. Come on. Can't see a freaking thing with this keyboard. I'm using my laptop today, okay? So I don't know what's going on. All right, moving right along. Make sure we help. Dave Roberts says one of the reasons Max Scherzer was starting is because there was no All-Star game last year after the Nationals won the World Series in 2019. And he felt that the Nats were not duly celebrated at the All-Star game. So there you go. And as far, we all looked at the All-Star game for the distances, and we saw the longest distances StatCast has ever tracked. Ohtani, 513 feet. Alonso, 514 feet. Trevor Story, 518 feet. And how about Juan Soto, 520 feet? How about that one?
Juan Soto?
What?
Did he hit the furthest one?
He hit the longest one last night, 520 feet. But I think the real interesting story is, and this I was almost aware of it. All right, Lone Ranger. Oh, thanks, Jay Stubbs. You got sound now? There you go, Jay Stubbs. Great to get Jay Stubbs in the sound. One of the great things is that Pete Alonso earned $1 million winning the home run derby. He earned $676,000 in his salary from the Mets for the entire year. So there you go. So Pete Alonso earned more winning the home run derby than he did playing for the Mets for this year. And there you go. So that takes care of that for today. That's a great thing. What we're going to do for the next 20 minutes or so, we're only going to have this podcast till 9:30. We got to go to my son's house and say goodbye and all that stuff as we head back home. What? Nothing.
We're supposed to leave at 10.
Yeah, so it's 9:30. We'll leave here at 9:30. That's it.
Okay.
Gut feelings. I'm going to do some gut feelings for the National League East and the American League East and go team by team. This are the Eastern divisions. My gut feeling in the National League is that the Atlanta Braves are going to bring up Drew Waters, and he's going to wind up playing center field for the rest of the season. So I really think that Drew Waters is someone that you want to pay attention to. I don't think Pache has got the offense to play center field. And Ciarte, Guillermo Heredia, Atlanta losing Acuna. This could be a disaster. I mean, they've lost Acuna, they've lost Ozuna, they've lost Travis d'Arnaud, and they lost Soroka. And they lost Huascar Yona, who turned out to be a good pitcher. They lost Touki Toussaint. They lost Tucker. I mean, come on, man. You talk about teams that have lost players. Nobody has gotten hit more than the Atlanta Braves. But I really do think that they're going to bring up Drew Waters, and he could be someone that you want to pay attention to.
San Diego Padres, with everybody hurt.
Yeah, terrific. The Yankees, there's plenty of players hurt. But look at the injuries that the Braves. Ozuna, terrible. Acuna, terrible. Soroka. I mean, you talk about 3 major players. All right, d'Arnaud, fine. They got Kevin Smith. They got, John. Not terrible. But you can't lose Ozuna, Acuna, and Soroka and expect to be a contending team. For the Miami Marlins, lots of activity on the trade bait. Starling Marte could go. Adam Duvall could go. Brian Anderson, I think, is going to be a nice pickup for the second half if he's playing, and I think he will play. Yimi Garcia, we've said this many times, his contract runs out at the end of the year. I really believe that Yimi will be gone, and Anthony Bender, no secret to Anthony Bender anymore if you listen to our Lady in the Legend show. And by the way, don't forget, come back on Sunday at 9 o'clock, it'll be the Lady in the Legend. Something that you had to pay for on Sirius Radio. Now the only price you pay is you got to listen to this crap, okay? That's it. You don't really have to pay for it with money, all right? So come back on Sunday morning and please take a listen. For the New York Mets, now you got to wonder, will Pete Alonso be shot for the second half? Will the home run derby take something out of Pete Alonso? The Mets can't afford to lose him. I think, and Andrea is absolutely going to kill me when I say this, Michael Conforto is going to be their offensive star in the second half. So if you have a chance to, Michael Conforto, in my opinion, is going to be one of the top players to take in the second half of the season. You got that? Everybody got that? Boy, oh boy, the chat room is rocking, and I thank you all as Malpal has joined us. Good morning, Malpal. Okay, Eddie Heckman has made it. Good morning. What a great job last night. I don't know if you heard it. I don't even know if anybody could hear it, but Andrea, Eddie Heckman, and Douglas, and Eddie's granddaughter, what was her name?
Samantha.
And Samantha. What a great...
Samantha? I don't know her name.
Well, I think it was Samantha. Anyway, a nice job last night.
Nice little girl.
Talking about and Samantha, she's saying, talk about a 10-year-old who knows her stuff. She said, Grandpa, all right, how come Mancini's wearing number 44? Isn't he number 16? Boy, oh boy, how many 10-year-olds know that stuff, right? Yeah, they wore it in honor of Hank Aaron, and the reason that they wore it last night was because Hank Aaron, if you remember, the home run derby, which I used to watch, it was from Wrigley Field in California, not the Wrigley Field in Chicago, and they'd win $500 if they won. And I'll tell you what, Mantle, all the stars, unbelievable, all the stars, okay? But Aaron won 6, and that was more than anybody ever won on the Great Home Run Derby. You can go on YouTube, and you can pick them up. But Samantha liked it. She's only 9. Okay. Grandpa made a mistake. She's not 10. She's 9. And she knows that Mancini wears number 16. There's a fan for you. I'm going to we are going to a Baltimore game on August 6th. So if you happen to be in the neighborhood, stop by. It's not official yet, but I know we're going to meet the great Eddie Heckman and hopefully Samantha and whoever else wants to be there, okay? As far as the Phillies are concerned, really not a lot to say, but you got to wonder what this team is going to do. Aaron Nola on the injured list now, but certainly it looks to me like Ranger Suarez has moved in front of the pack to become the closer in Philadelphia, okay? I still have $1 on Archie Bradley because he's next. So he finally could get his turn. If you need holds or saves, not saves, you need something else. Alvarado's the guy. And in Washington, look, we're all waiting for Victor Robles to pop out of it. I think he will. I think Victor Robles is going to be a valuable player to own in the second half of the season for the Washington Nationals. All right, that's my opinion. I think Washington, the Lerner family, absolutely wants to win. No question about it. They want to win, and they're not going to be sellers. As far as Baltimore is concerned, there's so much to go here. I mean, next year their outfield could be DJ Stewart, Cedric Mullins, and Anthony Santander. Okay, Montcastle got hit on the wrist. We'll have to figure out. I'll tell you, You can say what you want about this Oriole team, but when you have Stewart, Mullins, Santander, and then you get Ryan McKenna who comes up, he could look like a nice player. Austin Hayes, you got some depth in the outfield. They're doing it right. Mancini, now what do you think? I know the sentimental thing. How could they trade Trey Mancini?